What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some Yello, and thus begins the proper Yello journey. I would first like to give a big shout out to Yvonne, who sent me a Yello tune which was used in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and was a track I was familiar with, but also to Chris, who's provided a compilation of their tunes from 1980 to 1997, and I do think they're arranged in chronological order because the first track is from 1980. Chris did also provide a little bit of background. Apparently, it was a duo of guys in Switzerland, but very quickly they realized they needed someone to sing, so they brought in a person, I think it's Dieter, who was a bit older, I think, and who had been around since like the late 60s, and is also like a director. I think Chris mentioned that he directed Alphaville's Big in Japan video. But yeah, so apparently he came in to sing, and away they went. Now this first track from 1980 on the compilation is called Bostich. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but isn't that like, it's a company, right? Like I've seen that name somewhere before. I can't really place the context, but I've definitely seen that name, and I feel like it's a corporate name. Nevertheless, I don't quite know what to expect, nor even if this will be in English. Again, if they're Swiss, I suppose they could speak some different languages, maybe German, but either way, I am curious whether my sense of the title has any relevance at all, and if it's not that, I have no context for what it might mean. So let's give it a listen. This is Yello. The tune is, I think, Bostich, though I'm not sure it's pronounced that way, and it's from 1980, and it is the first track on a compilation of their tracks from 1980 to 1997.
Standing at the machine every day for all my life. I used to do it and I needed it. The only thing I want is just to rush, push, cash. Standing at the machine every day for all my life. I used to do it and I needed it. The only thing I want is just to rush, push, cash. Standing at the machine every day for all my life. I used to do it and I needed it. The only thing I want is just to rush, push, cash.
Everybody, be so fast.
Standing at the machine every day for all my life. I'm used to do it and I need it. It's the only thing I want is just to rush. Push. Cash. Standing at the machine every day for all my life. I'm used to do it and I need it. It's the only thing I want is just to rush. Push. Cash. Standing at the machine every day for all my life. I'm used to do it and I need it. It's the only thing I want is just to rush. Push. Cash.
Is that really 1980? That's crazy, man. That's like, it's a bit house music, it's a bit early techno, there's almost like a trip hop feel to it, and I love, maybe more than anything else, those really fast syllabic vocals. I think it was all in English. But yeah, I just love the like electromechanical bass line which kept coming in, and there was a moment where it seemed to like double or get more intense, more forceful. There's some drum rhythms, but the whole thing has kind of like a dance floor, like four to the floor rhythm. And then like the shouted vocals reminded me a bit of George Kranz, who, you know, a few years from now is doing the things that I'm thinking of. But yeah, it just kind of has this like wild vocal performance, aside from the rapid fire, like robotic style vocals. And then there's these like drone slash pulsing alarms slash like stretching, like almost like a modem, which I get it. In 1980, who's talking about modems? I don't think they exist yet. Certainly not like publicly or commercially. But yeah, the idea of some of these sounds and stylings being in a tune from 1980, it feels, and as a historian I actually hate this phrase, ahead of its time, because, you know, we historians would argue like circumstances in a given time and place, they facilitated whatever the thing is in question. And even if it's something that wouldn't become more mainstream or more ubiquitous or more understood in later years, it wasn't ahead of its time. It was exactly when it happened, for reasons that on some level you might be able to discern. But in a colloquial sense, this feels very ahead of its time, and I'm surprised it's 1980. Like, if this was 1988, I'd still be like, yeah, like, you know, this is you know, real groundbreaking stuff. So to know this is 1980 is very impressive. Because again, I've heard dance kind of tunes, you know, from like late 70s, early 80s. There's one, God, what was the tune? It was a Donna Summer track, and people mentioned that, like, you know, this is seen as kind of like a forebear of like house and techno, and I fully agreed. But again, like, this feels similar. I mean, it's not really the same kind of tune, but it feels like it's like, whoa, you know, this would sound pretty novel and fresh 6 or 7 years later. So I'm really intrigued by this, and it makes me more curious about the rest of the compilation. So again, thank you to Chris. Big shout out to Yvonne, who provided the first Yello, I was going to say mellow, Yello tune, and I look forward to more. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.